City, how do you see that, Toe? And I think the big question that we're all going to be asking is, how do Everton play without Jack Grealish? Because it's the first time he's going to be unavailable for the game.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll probably speak about Everton's academy shortly, but there's a player who we bought from Southampton's academy inside of Dibbling that this is the time for the lad to step up, isn't it? This is why we bought him. And we want to see now this season him push on and start knocking on the door for a place in the Premier League to play for Everton. It's going to be interesting, isn't it, how Moyes works this. Does he flood the midfield with just a guy, Tim Arubenham and James Garner? Does he put James Garner in at right back? Does Michael Keane pass fit? Does Jared Brantwaite come back in? There's so many permutations to it. There really, really is. I think we would say that, you wouldn't have thought Everton would have played the way they did against Aston Villa, in terms of like they were so on the front foot with the likes of Ilham and Diaye and obviously Jack Grealish in there. Everyone thought that James Garner and Everton would flood the midfield, but they never. Dibbling come in, so it was kind of, hang on, this is a different David Moyes we've got, because I'm sure David Moyes of 12, 13 years ago wouldn't have been that more attacker minded. Yeah. But we've seen against Aston Villa that Dibbling, Ndiaye and Grealish were in from the start. It was against with the last gas. Yeah, was it Villa? It was the game, the last game.
West Ham, Palace.
Palace, sorry, at the name of KP. Palace, that Moyes was on the front foot from the off. Now, we're probably thinking Manchester City away at the Etihad. Haaland's in the form of his life. Will Everton be more attacker-minded, even without Grealish? Will he go with an Ndiaye and a Dibbling and a Dewsbury as a 3? Or will he go, right, I'll take Dibbling out the side, I'll just put maybe a Rubenham, a Garner, a guy, flood the midfield, get numbers in there and try and look for a set piece. But judging from what we've seen last week against 2 weeks ago against Crystal Palace, Moyes went for it. So we may see a Dibbling, we may see a Grealish, we may see an Ndiaye and a Dewsbury as a 3 behind Barry, but it just leaves us wide open in midfield, because I don't think it's just a guy now has got the legs, having played 88 minutes for Senegal and on the international break this week. I don't think he's got the legs with another player in there. I think he's more comfortable at home playing in that position as a 2, not as a 3 out way Manchester City against the likes of Reinders, Bernardo Silva, Rodri. I think they'll pass him off the park, as we've seen against Crystal Palace when the likes of Adam Wharton, they were just passing through Everton at times. So I'll be more sceptical about having just a guy in James Garner as a 2 against Manchester City. I'd rather flood that midfield and put a Rubenham in there myself.
Do you think we went for it against Palace? Do you think, like with
judging from the starting lineup, we did, yeah. He couldn't have been more attacker minded if he tried.
Didn't work though, did it?
It didn't, but he couldn't. I think he even said on the preview show that will Garner go into midfield and a Rubenham and Guy as a 3, or push Garner as a number 10 instead of the suspended Dewsbury. But he never. He went for it. He went with the 3. So he couldn't have been more attacker minded if he tried, and it kind of didn't work. So does Moyes come back and go, right, that didn't work, so I maybe have to flood the midfield against Manchester City? It's food for thought. At least you've got options. At least.
It's difficult to assess, isn't it, with the fact that there could be fitness and injury issues. Certainly with Michael Keane, we don't know where he's at this moment in time, because we know he went off against Palace with what was deemed to be a hip injury. So I guess if Michael Keane's fit, you work on the basis that he's fit. I don't think Brantwaite's going to be back, is he? Then it's the same back 4, isn't it, with O'Brien and Mykolenko and Tarkowski alongside Michael Keane.
Don't be surprised, Ian, by the way, if you see Jared Brantwaite at left back this season. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
No, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I think we commented on this the other day. I don't think particularly enjoy playing there as the left back, but he'd surely be willing to do that for the team. So you
get told where to play. No, was an old school manager.
I agree.
And for a player whose injury records is as bad as it is over the past 2 or 3 years.
But the only reason you're saying Brantwaite is left back is because, are you suggesting that, and I don't probably disagree with you if you are, that Mykolenko is not up to scratch at this moment in time?
Yeah.
Is that because, well, he's probably not fit, but Brantwaite's not in the team either. We know that when Brantwaite gets back in that team, it seems to spur Mykolenko on, and he seems to be a little bit more assured.
No, I just think it's, even as one of Mykolenko's strengths is his basic 1v1 defending, and I've seen over the past 2 or 3, 4 weeks is that he's getting caught out quite a lot.
No, but I think...
And don't get me wrong, he's been up against really good opposition, especially against West Ham. He really didn't have the best of games, and neither did Jake O'Brien. But I just think what you've got in Branthwaite is that 1v1, you're not getting past him. He's a big unit.
No, but I think that's where he helps Mykolenko out. I do. I think that's where...
But you can't drop Michael Keane. You can't drop him. He's been Everton's best defender this season.
You can. Well, he might have been Everton's best defender this season, but Branthwaite and Tarkowski are our best defensive partnership, central defensive partnership.
Judging on the back of last season.
No, but that's evidence. You
can't pick players on name. Look, you pick players on form.
It would be very harsh to drop Michael Keane, but James Tarkowski is not playing great at this moment in time. Do you know what? None of the defence are playing great apart from Keane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're conceding bags full of goals. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? But we know O'Brien's playing out of position, so it's not really his fault. It's a huge decision to make when Branthwaite comes back fit. I don't think it's a decision that he's going to have to make for City, though. I don't, from what I can gather, I think
it as well.
Branthwaite's going to be fit.
From an attacking point of view, you've got 4 centre-backs, which Arsenal do quite often a lot. They play 4 centre-backs.
It's like Championship Manager.
So if you've got 4 centre-backs and you see how good Arsenal are from set pieces, can you imagine if Everton get a corner or a set piece? You've also got Beto and Barry, who aren't small. They're big units themselves. So then you've got the likes of O'Brien, Michael Keane, Jared Branthwaite, James Tarkowski from a set piece. They're going to tower over the opposition. So you've got a huge threat from set pieces alone. And you've seen this season and last season how pivotal set pieces are in games of football. So if you've got 4 giants at the back and obviously a threat up front from a set piece, whether it be Beto or Barry, the big lads, for all what they lack in quality at the moment, they're big lads and they've got to be marked up whichever way you dress it up. So I think it's a big tool, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see Jared Branthwaite in a left-back berth over the next couple of weeks.
I wouldn't be annoyed or outraged in any way, shape or form if Moyes was to drop Keane and bring Branthwaite straight back in the team. I genuinely wouldn't.
We can't do that. I think Moyes has always been a big advocate of playing players who are in form.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, and I remember the time when, was it Leighton Baines or Joleon Lescott had to sit on the bench for a long period of time and one of them was playing. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. You've got to do it.
I just think Mykolenko's form's not great. Is he fit? 100%? Probably not. Is he helping Jack Grealish from a advanced forward point of view? Probably not. All these reasons to take him out of the team, isn't it? I'm talking myself out at this point here. No, I just think when Branthwaite plays, he's just a man-mountain of a man, and he pushes Everton's back line probably 10, 15 yards further forward. It's just the nature. It's like when a colossal defender plays, you just see it differently. You know, this is not me slagging Michael Keane off. He has been Everton's best defender. I'm just trying to think of it from a unit point of view, from a team point of view. The defence is not playing well from an individual point of view. Again, I keep talking about the mitigating factors for all of that, but that is the point. I just don't want to be. I've talked in the past about how David Moyes seems to be shoehorning players into positions, square pegs and round holes, all that usual stuff, and throwing Branthwaite in as a left back would be doing that to an extent.
I don't necessarily.
I think if Branthwaite plays, he will help Mykolenko drastically, and I think you'll see his game improve. But like I say, don't think that's going to happen for City. I don't think it's going to happen.
There's an argument to say that Branthwaite's distribution going forward will be a lot better than Mykolenko's as well.
Let's work on the basis that it's the same back four, because there's no been any reports of Keane being injured. We'll know on Friday with the press conference. So let's work on that basis. So that means you'd expect that to stay the same with O'Brien as the right back. So what are we doing then? Garner obviously plays. You've obviously got the Kiernan Dewsbury Hall situation as well with Alcaraz, who I think everyone would have no issues with Alcaraz starting that game on the basis of what he did.
Form. So you're going against yourself now, aren't you?
I'm not.
With Michael Keane out the start, but Alcaraz on form.
I'm not basing that on form because he's only had 45 minutes. What I'm basing that on is the partnership between him and Beto and how that works. Okay. As again, from a unit point of view and the team. So I understand what you mean. You can't base Alcaraz's 45 minutes all. He's in some good form. You got to give him at least a run of games.
But if he wouldn't have played well against Palace, you wouldn't have been putting him in.
Well, he certainly would have had a lot more minutes if I was the manager. Now, listen, so what do we do then?
Well, you've got options. You've got Jude Biol, James Garner, Tim Arubenham, just a guy. You've got 4 players that can easily play in them 2 positions. I think Everton will flood that midfield against Manchester City. They won't be as attacker-minded because it didn't pay off against Crystal Palace. And if it's not going to pay off against Crystal Palace, then it's certainly not going to pay off against Manchester City away, is it? Where they're going to dominate possession. They're going to have a lot of the ball. Everton will be doing more work off the ball than they will on it. So you're going to have legs in there. Who's got the most minutes on the clock? I wouldn't be surprised if it was just a guy who gets dropped out of this equation, you know. I wouldn't be surprised because you need legs in there. Jude Biol, fresh, no international break, has a week off before the Crystal Palace game. He should be fresher than anyone. He's been at Finch Farm probably in the past 2 weeks, building his fitness up, so he should be starting. You'd probably presume James Garner will be starting. He's been one of Everton's better standout players this season. So then the question is that who plays in that other role as a 10? Does Alcaraz play in there? Does Dibbling go on the left? And then you push maybe Alcaraz on the left?
I don't think there's any way that Moyes throws Dibbling into that game. I'll be very surprised.
Okay, so who plays on the left then?
So, just before I come on to that quick question here, so Daniel Barton says, sorry, it's a comment. I think Moyes will put Garner left back before Branthwaite, which he's done. Obviously, I know Branthwaite was injured at the time. Back to your point. So, I think it'll just be pretty much the same as what Moyes has done in the past, over the past couple of weeks. I think Garner and Gay will play, and Kane and Dewsbury Hall will come back in as the number 10, and I think Alcaraz will get his chance, but it'll be on either wing with Ndiaye. So whether Alcaraz plays on the right or the left, I think it'll be dependent on what
I think he'll freshen it up.
Reckon?
Yeah, I think we'll see about 2 or 3 changes. I think we'll see quite a lot because it didn't work against Crystal Palace. Palace had a very good side, and their formation flummoxed Everton for large periods of that game. And we're up against a very good midfielder in Adam Morton. I just think we're up against world-class midfielders in Rodri and Reinders and Bernardo Silva. We're going to be very difficult to get the ball off them.
I think whatever side we put out, it's going to be a difficult afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah. But you know what? They're not invincible this season.
No,
They're not invincible. And they've come into a bit of form. They've got arguably the best striker on the planet at the moment in Haaland. If we keep him quiet, you've got a very good chance of keeping Manchester City quiet. But he's in unbelievable form, isn't he? So we could put 10 defenders, we could put 10 Michael Keanes in front of him. He's going to find his way into goal, isn't he? So it's going to be a big test for Jordan Pickford. We've just been praising him. Be a big test for him. He saved a penalty against Erling Haaland this time last year when we went to the Etihad. Everton got a 1-1. Iliman Ndiaye scored. So we see no reason why we can't get at least a positive performance. If you don't win, if you don't get something from the game, at least lay a glove on him, and that's what you want.